Okay, every day millions of Americans and people around the world rely on automotive vehicles for transportation. We use them for many different purposes, ranging from the most simple to going to the grocery store or traveling across the country. There are hundreds or even thousands of different vehicles, makes and models. Depending on your personal preference, you have almost an infinite amount of vehicles to choose from. With all these vehicles to choose from, how do you know which one's the best? Many people like or prefer Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, but there's always one that's head and shoulders above the rest. Today I'm going to tell you in 3 points why Ford is the best automaker. They are financially stable, they have product innovation and quality assurance. That brings me to my first point, which is the financial stability of Ford. Ford has many different reasons for its financial stability. In 2005, Ford took out about $24 billion worth of loans and debt to revamp and restructure the company. And from then they hired a new CEO and basically redid all their models, makes and models, and ran into a little bit of trouble with that and almost went under in around 2008. Like many other car companies, but did not need any bailout funds from the government, unlike GM and other automakers. Ford stock price also, in the past 2 years, went from down to $1 a share and almost going bankrupt, is now up to hit a 10-year high of $19 a share. Ford sales have been increasing. Nick Bunkley writes in an article titled, "Ford plans to hire more than 7,000 workers. Ford's domestic sales increased 15% in 2010, and its market share grew for the second consecutive year, an achievement it had not experienced since 1993. Ford has also had 2 years of solid profitability, and in this past month, in March, they actually outsold GM, which is the first time since 1998 that they did that. And an article titled, "Ford Focus on Flexibility," Chris Woodyard states, Ford earned $6.6 billion last year, more than double the previous year. This was more than any other American automaker, other than Toyota, which is located in Japan. After discussing the financial stability of Ford, I will now move on to the innovation of the products they produce. Ford has always been leading the way in innovation, and basically since 1908 to 1915, they created the assembly line, which was made by Henry Ford. And you can see in that picture up there, it's different than it was back then. It's mostly controlled by robots and programs to save costs and not to pay labor for it. Ford is, in an article written by Lawrence Ulrich titled, "Better Curve Control," states, Ford Motor Company has developed a different kind of electronic stability control system called Curve Control, which debuted on the 2011 Explorer. Curve Control varies braking forces among all wheels and can reduce speed by up to 10 miles per hour in just 1 second. Basically with Curve Control, it's like a new sensor system that they have in the front end when, if you're going too fast and you try to turn, instead of the wheels pushing and you're driving off the road, you will, the car automatically senses it and slows down so the wheels will grip and not slip. And also, they started using, in 2002, they started using X-ray machines to create and develop parts, and it helps with quality assurance with that. Now that I've expressed the innovation of Ford, I will now move on to my final point, which is quality assurance. The most important part of selling a product is quality assurance. An article released by Ford titled, "Ford Focuses, Using Real-Time 2D and 3D X-ray Machines to Help Ford Vehicles Stay in Great Health," says, if something gets into production or gets out there and comes back on us later, then we have pretty much failed at what we do. Recently, Ford was ranked above Toyota in a JP Power and Associates Quality Control Study, which was for the Ford Fusion was ranked above Toyota Camry, which was held #1 spot for a long time. And I've now discussed my 3 main points on why Ford is the best automaker, which were financial stability, product innovation, and quality assurance. When it comes time for you to buy a new or used car, think value, think American, and think Ford.